Hey everyone, Joyce here with Empath Thriving. Thank you for joining me today. So today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about fear and why it's important for people to start disassociating themselves from the media and how the media uses fear to help and how that impacts you. So, first off, it is a fact that the media will report things that will get attention and reactions from people. And negative information gets a reaction faster than a positive information does. It's the way our brains are wired. We pick up and associate with negative thought processes and stuff and react to them faster and than we do positive. So think about it, like, how often do you hear anything positive being said on any of the news channels, the media channels that are making reports? Very, very rarely is the answer. You rarely hear anything positive. So they're always reporting about the bad things that are going on in the world. And as a result of that, it causes people to start picking up on fear. They start becoming fearful of things that are going on, start having wonders if it's going to affect them or somebody close to them. And so the thing about fear is that when you're constantly subjected and living under fear, even if you don't yourself feel like you're in fear, subconsciously it's all being programmed in there. And so even without us realizing it, we're living a life based off of fear, and we're still in a fear mode, and that fear mode never really has a chance to come down and us go out of it, which scientifically has been proven to have dramatic problems for us health-wise. It helps contribute to heart diseases and heart attacks and strokes and lowered immune systems to fight infections, are just a few to name that science has linked to living in a heightened sense of fear. It and the way fear reacts on our brains. So the other thing is that when we're living in fear and we're constantly in that heightened awareness that comes from being in fear and living in fear and panic, is that it causes us to not be able to make rational choices, because it's circuiting several different areas of our brains. And so because of that, we're unable to really do a lot of critical thinking. We can dismiss facts and miss facts that go against what we're hearing or feeling or seeing. No matter how credible the sources are, because our minds can't comprehend anything that is outside of that realm of fear that we're under. So our logic and our critical reasoning and thinking is always missing bits of information. And so that's why pretty much everyone has all these different views of this media source is wrong, that media source is wrong. It's just giving false and propaganda and things like that. Well, the thing to consider is that they're all doing that. All of them are. They're all spreading fear in one way or another, and they're all twisting truths and not giving complete and accurate information to us because they're trying to get ratings. Because if they don't have ratings, they're not going to be able to be aired anymore. The television networks that air them are going to drop them. So they have to do what they can to get the attention, to keep the views, and therefore buy their ratings up. Which means that they are constantly putting into our subconscious the reality of fear. And as I've already said, that causes a lot of different health problems for us. However, there are lots of things that we can do to help break us out of that fear mentality and thinking. There's lots of things that we can do to break out of it. One is simply start minimizing your time of how much you're consuming from the news and media. Draw yourselves back away from all of it, to give your minds a break from that constant droning of toxic information going into you. Because then, when you start doing that, for one, your mind starts being able to become a little bit clearer, and you start being able to lower that fear level, and you start being able to make more rational and logical choices. And you begin to start opening up and realizing that some of the facts don't line up with what you were thinking and what you were perceiving those facts to be based out of your own mind. Because one of the ways fear works is that, and why it's so easy to use to control and manipulate people's thinking and choices, is because every time we go into that fear mode, our subconscious mind is latching on to other things that were similar when and happened while we were in some sort of real danger at one point or another, or perceived to be. And it just keeps downloading and downloading and downloading into our subconscious. But when we take away the things that are helping to download that fear into our subconscious, it helps to lower that fear mentality, and we're able to make those better choices and better decisions. Secondly, positive thinking, like reprogramming your thoughts in your brain. You can do this. There's lots of different meditations out there, a host of them. Some of them I'll drop you some links along with some cited sources about fear itself down below in the description section of the video, and you can go check those out to help you out. But there's all kinds of different exercises and meditations and positive thinking that we can do that can help us to start rewiring those memories in our head and start bringing down our fear level as well. Also, thereby helping us to make more informed and better choices. The other thing, which is really detrimental with society right now, too, is that because the large amount of population is living in this heightened state of fear constantly, is that it's also helping to fuel divisions and divides among the people, because they're living in fear of each other, and they don't want to see how their thoughts are being controlled by fear and made out of fear. So they don't want to listen to anything that goes against what their chosen fear mode in their brain is telling them to believe. And as a result of that, it doesn't matter how credible the sources of your information are that are coming, that you're trying to give to help support your side of things, because if it goes against what they're being fed and their version of the fear that they're living in their head about society, it's automatically going to be considered false and inaccurate. And so it's like you're just beating your head against a wall constantly, like trying to say. So that's another reason why it's a good thing to get away from the media, get away from the fear, and retrain our brains and our thinking, because until we start doing that, we can't move unanimously away from that fear-based thinking and mentality. And so all we're going to do is continue the same circle and patterns that we've already been involved in, which is furthering to sow divides and divisions between us, rather than finding the mutual ground and balance to be able to work as a whole together to figure out and fix what is really broken in society. I mean, we've got people that are, right now, especially because of this pandemic, we've got people that are afraid of how they're going to survive if it continues to go on. We've got people that genuinely don't want to go outside or anything else because of the risk that it might cause to themselves or to other people of being spread. And then we have yet other people that see the opposite sides of things too, and see the economical and tolls that it takes on us, along with how many different rights of our Constitution and freedoms are being manipulated and stepped on over it. And both sides have valid reasons for what they're doing and their belief, and there's credible information that backs up both sides. But you can't sit and keep accusing each other of being wrong or spreading misinformation when you're not willing to logically look at somebody else's information to even look and see the valid sides of it and whether they fit together or not, and to find that balance and that common ground of, oh, well, this does I could see where this is coming from. I can understand where this is coming from. Because we have to understand and face it that the media is not going to be telling us every single thing out there. They're not going to tell us all sides of the situation. They're only going to tell us what they think we want to hear to keep our attention focused on them. So that is my thing on fear, and stop allowing fear to control us. We have to. We just have to all come to that realization that we are living in a fear-based mentality and making choices from a fear-based mentality. And we need to take steps to start getting ourselves away from that so that we can have better health, better immune systems, and also to be able to think more rationally and clearly, and to be able to dissect the truths from the untruths, so that we can find unity and peace and balance, not only in ourselves, but in the world. So thank you guys all for watching, and I hope this helps some of you guys out. Again, if you found anything credible out of this and you got any benefit from it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, and blessings to all of you guys, and love to all. Let's get it together, guys, and get out of this fear.